What's up, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Pass or Yes. Today, we are going to be talking about the new 2025 Chanel Le Blanc collection, also referred to as the Brightening collection. We have some major goodies that are going to be launched. This is supposed to be coming out towards the end of February, and I have some photos here. We're going to chat all about this new release, and this video is being recorded in front of a live digital audience. So not only are you going to be hearing from me, but we're also going to hear the thoughts of our wonderful SOFIASEESQM Beauty community. So right here, I have some details, some photos from Vogue magazine, and I will link their account down below. And by the way, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new here. I would very much love that. I would love to know from all of you what you think of this collection, because I think there are some things about this collection that are maybe like a little bit boring, but also some that very, very much excite me. So we're going to go through each piece one by one. The first thing that is being launched is this beautiful and soft eyeshadow quad. Now, keep in mind, this collection from Chanel, what I've heard and what I've, experienced year after year is that it does tend to be very light. It's called the Brightening collection because it's supposed to kind of brighten up the face, lighten up the face, and it is usually marketed a little bit more heavily towards the Asian market. So I'll be quite frank, like we do tend to see lighter colors and tones, and it usually has a very kind of spring-like vibe to it. So the first product that we have right here is an eyeshadow palette. It says a futuristic harmony with 4 button camellias for a mysterious look eyeshadow palette. Keep in mind, I'm translating this from Japanese, okay? So it might sound a little bit strange. It says camellias are emblematic with the double C logo. When I first saw sneak peeks of this, I thought this was going to be 2 separate palettes because maybe I was seeing different photos in different lighting, but it does seem like it's going to be just one. If you've heard otherwise, please comment and let me know. Of course, I want to know all of the details, but it looks like what we're getting here is kind of like a soft petal pink. Then we have like a shimmering pearly white. Then there is what looks to be kind of like an iridescent pink, maybe something a little bit multi-dimensional. And then finally, it's like sort of a silvery taupe. And when I take a look at the swatch there, it does look like the swatch is a little bit darker than what we're seeing in the pan, which makes me happy because there's not a ton of depth to this palette. I think this palette is going to be popular because it's like not too warm, but it's also not like super duper cool. I do wish it had like a little bit more depth, but I will reserve my opinion until I try it out in person and I can see just how much depth we can get from like that darker taupey shade. It doesn't look like anything particularly groundbreaking, but I think for the Chanel customer, this probably is going to be something that sells because it's great. It's soft. It's great for every day. It's a yes from me. And I think if you don't have a lot of Chanel, I would say it's a yes. But if you already have a lot of other neutral palettes, I think it's safe to say you can pass on this. Please don't be lured in by like the beautiful little camellia embossing because it literally is going to wear away after probably one use. So try and look at this photo and remove the beautiful embossing because specifically with the eyeshadows, it's gone in like 2 seconds. Okay, let's see what you all have to say here. Tracy says, pretty, but nothing special. I would like at least one shade without shimmer. I think that's fair. It would be nice to have just one matte shade. Heather says, it's a maybe, probably. I think it's the big gelée and flowers on it that tempt me, and I like the blush shade, so that is a yes. Okay, we're gonna get to that in just a second, Heather. I hear what you're saying there. Yeah, I think that it looks even prettier than it is because of the embossing. But I don't know, this is the kind of palette that it looks really boring, but I know that when I put it on my eyes, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's such a sweet spring look. Heather says, I wish it had a darker brown and no pink. Wow, I'm surprised so many of you guys don't like it. Nicole says, I don't like it. Oh, Francine says, the eye quad looks beautiful, but think it will be too light for me. Yes, I think that it's going to be too light for a lot of folks. I definitely think so. It's a little bit shimmery, and I think when you add some of that shimmer, it pops more on like a tanner skin tone, but I do think it's still going to be too light for a lot of people. Tyga says that this is bland, but the blush is fun. Again, we're going to get to it. Stephanie says too light for me. Tracy says, being a collector, I will buy everything, but I have to say I do like the colors in the eyeshadow palette. It's nothing we haven't seen before. The embossing is beautiful. A lot of you are saying it's too light for your skin tone. Nicole says no to the quad. I have a lot of Chanel quads and this does not stand out. Okay, I think that's fair. Kia says it might be nice for summer, but I have no use for colors that don't show up. Yeah, it has to be good for your skin tone. Ski Coacher, hi Ski Coacher, welcome. She says, if I looked at the swatches alone without knowing it was Chanel, it would be a no. But knowing it's Chanel, it's still a no, remaining very selective. Yes, I think a lot of us are being very selective, and that's why I'm trying to, really help you guys think about whether or not this is going to be worth it. I don't know if this is going to be like the thing to pick up from the collection. The fashion try-on says could be a perfect neutral go-to. Oh, thank you, Heather. She says, I need to say I just love that you do this, Sophia. It's so nice to have a community to be able to interact with live about makeup. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. If you're watching on the replay, just subscribe to my channel and you will find out whenever we do these live if you want to get in on all of this action. So definitely comment down below because I still will be reading all of your thoughts and comments if you're watching this on the replay. So that is the eyeshadow quad. Now let's look at the blush. Oh my gosh, guys, when I saw this excites me. I like this. Okay, so what do we have right here? We have yet another beautiful limited edition blush from Chanel. And this one also highlights a camellia embossing. And they've sort of added this little like stitched detail to make it look like the camellias have been embroidered into the blush. Almost, maybe like the colors have been stitched together. I think it's a really beautiful touch that ties in with the eyeshadow quad. I do think that the colors of the eyeshadow quad and this blush, I'm not really sure it's super cohesive. You let me know what you think because the eyeshadow is very light and then this is very bright. So I don't know if it fully fits with the theme, but that's okay because this is a yes from me. Obviously, assuming that the formula is going to be good, I will be picking this up and I will review it for sure. I like the colors that they picked here. These are three colors that I very much enjoy wearing personally. We have a light, soft petal pink, kind of similar to the one in the eyeshadow palette. Then we have a more vibrant kind of corally pink. It looks very bright in the pan, but when you see the swatch right here, it's actually, it's more of like a coral. It's not like a red blush. And then finally, we have a warm toned orange. And I think that this is perfect for kind of like spring and summer. And you can definitely mix them together. You can swirl them together. I don't really see any shimmer or glitter in any of these swatches, which is promising because a lot of the releases lately have had a lot of glitter. But it does look like these are maybe a little bit blurring. I do see that they have kind of like a soft focus effect. So I really like that about it. It says here in the description, let's move from pink to peach to apricot. Gradient harmony brings harmony to your makeup look. It comes with a half moon brush. Okay, so this is going to be, it sounds like one of those larger compacts that comes with a little brush that I never use, but like it's good for those who want a brush. It comes with a brush and I'm sure it's going to be, decently expensive. All of these prices are in yen. I'll link this post down below. So if you want to do the conversion, you can. I don't know if it's going to end up being whatever the conversion says though. So I apologize. I don't have official prices yet. So let's see what all of you have to say. Karen says, it looks like it will be beautiful when swirled together. Oh, the fashion try-on says, it almost looks like they just reused the Coral Treasure colors. Coral Treasure was the eyeshadow palette that they did this past summer. Oh, hello, Ariel. She says, finally catching a live. Hello, we missed you here. Charlotte says, I need to see the blush in person. Not sure about it. I get it. I get it. Heather says, $78 to $88. I'm thinking like the last ones. Exactly, Heather. I'm thinking it's going to be around that price point, which is really expensive. It is really expensive. But there's something about these colors that I actually really, really like. I'd be willing to pay the price. But if there's even one color in there that you don't think you're going to wear, obviously I would say it's a pass. Mona says the blush is a pass for me. I just have too many Chanel blushes and they actually look similar on my skin. Francine says that she is very tempted by this blush. Love these colors. Christiane says, I need this blush ASAP. I'm loving bright blushes lately. Tracy says this makes me happy to look at. Yeah, I agree. Makes me happy too. Jane says she thinks that the blush is too bright for her. It is pretty bright. Natasha is asking, is this a big blush? I'm pretty sure, Natasha, I think it's going to be about, you know, this big, maybe the size of like, I don't know, a baseball. Why am I giving a sports analogy? I don't know. It's going to be a larger blush, larger than the ones from the permanent collection. This, I think, is the piece in the collection that I'm the most excited about. The eyeshadow palette, I was kind of like, meh, it's aight. Rachel says, I can't do the orange, but I love the 3-in-1 concept, like the Le Beige bronzer compact from last year. Yeah, that was the Le Beige compact. Those were like, that release was one of the biggest releases of the year, at least on my channel and the brands that I talk about. I think it's great that Chanel is doing more of these because I feel like you get a little bit more for your money rather than just buying like one oversized blush, because it's going to take somebody so long to get through that one blush. Like, don't make it oversized unless you're going to give us several colors. Let's move on to the next product, which is the Fluid Illuminator Iridescent Illuminating Fluid. So this is going to be similar to this one that I have right here, which is from the permanent line. This is one that I have from the permanent line. This one is the pearly glow. And this is kind of like a light, slightly pink tone pearly shimmer. So this is going to be similar to that, but mine says here sheer healthy glow highlighting fluid. This one says iridescent illuminating fluid. And I think what that means is that this is going to be more metallic. And that is certainly what I'm seeing from this photo. It looks very shiny and it also looks kind of multi-dimensional. I feel like this kind of makeup is going to be sort of trendy this year. Comment and let me know if you seen any articles saying this. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of like more iridescent types of finishes, more like pearliness, and maybe this is playing off of that. I don't really know. I think my opinion is that this is a pass. I think that this is really, really shiny. It looks like maybe even a little bit glittery. And I like this other product because I think it makes a really nice natural primer, or it's great for mixing into a foundation, but you also can use it as like a liquid highlighter. Personally, I think I prefer this, like something a little bit more subtle. And if I'm going to have something that I use more so as a highlighter, I don't really want a pump bottle. I would rather have like a doe foot applicator where I can lightly dab it on. It's just more convenient for me. It says soft pink liquid highlighter with green iridescence for a futuristic light. I've heard this sort of like aura makeup, aura glow, or whatever that means is kind of like the trendy finish for 2025. It says it brings a healthy glow and dimension to your skin. Yeah, to me, this looks like it's going to be too harsh to be worth the price. Georgia says, it's a pass for me. It looks too metallic and glittery. Yeah, I think so. Lisa says, I love pearlescent iridescent finishes. I hope they are big this year. I do too, but not so much with my liquid highlighters. With other types of products, I do. And I don't like it with lip products all that much. It really depends on the finish. Megan says the illuminator is a pass for me if it's metallic or glittery. I will, by the way, check these out at the boutique and I'll do swatches so I can at least show you what it looks like. Even if I don't buy it, I'll give you my opinion on why I did or didn't pick it up in the end after I see it. Tracy says, it's pretty, but would make me look like the Tin Man. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Heather says, I think I'll try the Dior highlighter before I buy this. I don't need a mermaid shift highlight. Yeah, I think if you have a pale skin tone, I would recommend the new Dior lilac highlighter, the powder one. I think that gives a really cool, interesting finish for fair skin tones without it being too much, like without it looking strange. Karen says, it seems like they may be targeting young people with this finish. Yeah, maybe. Christine says, I was interested till you mentioned green, going to pass. Yeah, if you look closely at that photo, right? Like it looks It actually looks like it has green and lavender reflect in it. That's what I'm getting right there. All right, let's move on. We have right here some Stilo Ombre et Contour. So these are going to be, if I'm not mistaken, like the eyeshadow sticks or an extension of the ones that they recently did for, was it fall or was it summer? I think it was the summer collection this past year. And so we have 4 different shades. We have kind of like an apricot orange, what I would say is sort of like a classic brown. Then we have a sheer pastel minty green. That looks like it's going to be a shimmer formula, whereas the other 2 are matte. And then finally, we have a shimmering lilac. These are a pass. I don't need any more of these. I feel like when it comes to eyeshadow pencils or eyeshadow sticks, I tend to use like the more everyday colors a little bit more. And once you have enough everyday colors, I don't feel like, at least for me, I don't feel like I need to have a million different eyeshadow sticks. Like they were very popular, not necessarily this past year, but the year before. And I still have a lot of those eyeshadow sticks that I'm perfectly happy to use. And I did pick up, I think, 2 of the more colorful ones from the Chanel collection this past summer. And I'm happy with those little pops of color. These particularly don't blow me away. The apricot one, I feel like that's going to be very hard to pull off unless you have the right skin tone. The brown one is like, okay, basic brown, don't need that. The mint one is the one I'm the most interested in, but I got that Dior, the Dior Spring palette. I also have the Dior Pastel Glow palette. I have a lot of pastel palettes, so I don't really need to buy a one and done eyeshadow stick. This color is featured in all of those, and same here with the mauve chrome. So this is going to be a pass from me, unless there's some color here that like really speaks to you. I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Let's see what you all are saying. Natalie says, I love these except the orange one. Tracy says, I use these as a quick grab and go. Susanna says, I'm definitely getting the mauve chrome. Kia says she likes number 58 and 62. 2 and done. Okay, so those are, okay, the brown one and the mauve one. Lisa says, ooh, I like number 62. I know, that's probably going to be the one that sells the most. Brooke says, I might get the green. It seems like a lot of you guys like these. Karen says, maybe 56 and 58 are designed to go with the blush. Oh, that's a very good point. They would go really well with the blush, right? Patsy says, pass. I'll probably stick to the Victoria Beckham ones as they are so budge proof. Lisa says, I love the orange one. I'm warm olive with green eyes. Orange and coral are my jam. That's a good point. I think with your coloring, that's gonna look great. For me, I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know if I can pull off that like very orangey tone. I would have to blend it with a bunch of different things. And at that point, it's like, I'll just go for an eyeshadow palette. All right, let's move on. Okay, so next up we have the Rouge Coco Flash. And these are going to be sparkly iridescent lippies. I told you that this sort of like shimmery aura makeup is going to be really in this year. Okay, you heard it here first. These, I honestly have no idea. I want to say that they're a pass because I don't often like shimmery metallic lips. And I told myself I would stop buying that. But this is a very sheer formula, so I honestly have no idea what this will look like. I'm thinking it's gonna be a pass. I think that these colors are interesting. They have one that's like a honey tone with gold shimmer, and then there's another one here that is just a burst of violet shimmer. I feel like these are both gonna look very strange on my naturally rosy lips. Right now I'm wearing a nude lip color and lip liner, but my lips are very rosy, so I honestly have no idea what these are going to look like. I'm going to have to see these in person. In general, I would say a pass. I would say don't bother with these. What are all of you saying? Shay says, shimmery lip products seem to be having a moment, right? I agree. I agree. Tracy says she is in love with all this sparkle and glitter. Okay, good. I'm glad somebody likes the glitter. Kia says, I love, love, love that formula. 272 looks so good. I know, I really like this formula as well. Nicole says, pass for me too. Too many other exciting new releases to spend my moolah on. I know, we have to budget carefully for what we want to pick up, right? Megan says, no on the shimmer metallic lip formulas for me. Yeah, I mean, if you saw my recent lip declutter, which I'll try and remember to link it down below, I said like I'm not gonna buy any more metallic lipsticks, but these aren't really metallic, they're just shimmery. So that's why I'm saying I have no idea. Ski Couture says definitely here for both of the Rouge Cocoa flashes. Love the formula with a liner for simple everyday look with some sparkle. Oh yes, the swatches do look really pretty. Patsy says 272 is giving me 80s vibe. I know, and that's what I like about it. That's what I like about it. Let's move on. Okay, so here we have Chanel Rouge Allure Lac in 2 different colors. And once again, like one of these is shimmery. One of them is very light. What would you call this? Like a peach? It seems like they're going for peachy vibes. It actually looks really nice. It looks more subtle. It doesn't look super glittery. And then the other one, ooh, you know I like this color. This is like a ripe peach, but there's also like something a little bit neutral about it. I really like this color. I really, really like this color. The question is, how does this compare to the ones that they did last summer? Remember when they did like the Rivage and the Coral Treasure? There is a color, I think it's called Starfish, if I'm not mistaken, that I really like. That survived the lip declutter, and I feel like it looks a lot like this. So I will just have to bring that with me when I go to the boutique and see if these are going to be similar. I would say in general, I would say these are a yes, but the balms are a pass for me. I really like this formula. It's kind of like hydrating, it's glossy, it's like a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't dry down. It's more of like a lacquer, but there's some sort of ingredient in it that really makes it like cling to the lips, so it lasts a lot longer than like a regular lip gloss. Karen says, I like 96. It looks very pretty. Okay, so that's the shimmery one. Heather says, now these look nice, heart eyes. Tracy says 97 is definitely a Sophia color. I know, right? You guys know me so well. Karen says, I love all lip products with little crying emojis. I'm assuming that's your wallet crying. Brooke says, do not like peachy. I'll stick to my candy glaze for now. That's what I'm wearing, the candy glaze, my fave. Tracy says they are really nice. They shine, but they aren't sticky and have staying power. Okay, good. Thank you for backing me up, Tracy. Moving along, we have the 2 nail polish colors. These are interesting. So we have like a very kind of basic springy pink, like a peachy petal pink. And then we also have this kind of shimmering gray. I actually think I'm gonna get this peachy pink. I just started buying more Chanel and also Dior nail varnishes, and I actually really like them. I am going to get this beautiful pink. Like this is gonna look really, really nice on my skin tone. The gray one, I actually think that's like a really cool color. I don't know if I can pull it off. I don't think that I would want to put this color on my toenails. I think that's the biggest thing right now. I feel like that might look a little bit strange. Susanna says, I love Chanel nail varnishes, but these are a pass. Dana says, great for your new short nails. I know, I cut off my nails, but you know what? It's fine. I've been liking it. Shug says, said yes as soon as I saw the peachy pink color. This is so pretty. I don't really have that many nail polishes. A lot of them are super old. I actually think this is a color I will use a lot. Tracy says, I haven't been buying nail polish, but I really like that pink color. Sorry to jump a brand, but I just got the new pink from Dior. Nicole says, the formula on the nail polishes are great, but not in love with these colors. Ski Couture says, gray toenails might look kind of funky in a weird way. I know, right? Like it might look like I dropped a weight or something on my on my foot, which has happened to me, unfortunately. Mona says, I will definitely buy these nail polishes. I purchased them for every limited edition collection. Haha. So thank you everybody for sharing your thoughts. If you are watching this on the replay, definitely comment down below and let me know what you think of this collection. Definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And better yet, check out the full pass or yes video coming up next Letterboxd, where you can catch my commentary on all of this season's hottest new luxury beauty releases. I'll see you there.